Are you ready for some more Grimsby Town news? You are? Well, here we go. Here's some more. I did say to you last week that I'll be back around about now to give you some more information about any more signings that Grimsby Town make. And Grimsby Town this week have made three prominent signings. So what I'm going to do is take you through each and every single one and all the information I could find on these three guys. The first signing happened on Monday, believe it or not, and it was midfielder Danny Rose. No, not that one. No, not the one that was recently at Newcastle United. No, this Danny Rose is a guy that actually started at Manchester United. Yes, you heard that correct. He started at Manchester United. He's a central midfielder. He's very well experienced in League 1 and 2. From Manchester United, he moved on to Oxford United on loan before he actually moved to Oxford permanently, and did quite well. He got scared by a lot of championship clubs. Didn't quite make it there though. But he did make a return, but he made 19 appearances in 2007 and 8 before moving on to probably his most successful period was at Newport County. He scored 10 goals in the 2008-9 season for Newport, as Dean Holdsworth's side finished as a winning 10th. This was back in the conference days for Newport. And with a record of 103 points, they actually won the National League South title. And Danny was showing some real impressions, going a little bit higher up through the pyramid. It was probably his most, like I've already said, his most productive time. He signed for Fleetwood in 2011-12. I can remember coming up against Danny Rose, and a very strong sort of midfielder. Can definitely pick a pass out. That I do remember. And obviously, he after going to Fleetwood, in January 2012. The move came despite interest from the Football League clubs. Aldershot Town, basically, they at the time, managed by Dean Holdsworth, and Crystal Palace, where he had a week-long trial. He had scored a total of 36 goals in 165 appearances in all competitions for Newport. 36 goals in 165. People might say, well, that's, that is, I would say, a fairly decent return at a level where at the time people would dismiss, Conference South and think it's poor standard. Obviously back then, not really. It was getting stronger. And he did say, actually, in his interview when signing, that he really enjoyed his time at Newport, and it looked like it. When he did move on to Fleetwood, they won the title, of course, because, of course they did. That was the year of Jamie Vardy, who is now at Leicester. But they won the title in 2011-12 for the very first time. They'd never been there. He then fell out, a little bit out of favour at Fleetwood Town, and moved on loan to Aldershot in the October, where he rejoined his old manager, Dean Holdsworth, on a 3-month loan. And then at the end of the 12-13 season, he actually returned to Oxford. He signed a 2-year contract there with an option of a third. On February the 1st, 2016, he left the club, though, by mutual consent. he later signed for his next club, which was Northampton. As you can see, well and truly travelled from Northampton. He actually made. He got his first goal. I will move before moving to Northampton. He got his first goal for Northampton in the club's 1-0 win over Wycombe on February the 20th of 2016. From Northampton Town, he moved on to Portsmouth. And I can tell you that when, as people have probably seen, the Grimsby fans have seen, he is probably one of the most respected sort of players down there. They really loved him down there. He had such a good rapport with them, and obviously the champions of last year, Swindon, who he was with last year, and was very, very successful. But his time at Portsmouth, he got his first goal in the 5-1 win over Barnet on September 24th of 2016. He was a key member of the team that won the League Two title in 16-17, so he has got promotion pedigree at this level. On the 30th of December 2017, the match against Northampton, Rose unfortunately broke his leg, but the injury would see him sidelined for the remainder of that season. But he signed a 1-year extension in March of 2018. He made one further league appearance for the club in the August, and then moved on to Swindon. Well, obviously last year he won the League Two title again. So he's been a sort of a bit of a traveller at the lower levels, but he's had a lot of success, and the announcement of Danny Rose brought out a lot of love from the Swindon supporters and the Portsmouth supporters. They have a lot of time for Danny, and I remember the game that we played against Swindon last year away. Danny didn't get on, unfortunately he wasn't able to play in that one, but he actually said in his interview when he signed that he could see the way that, you know, we wanted to play. We were trying to play it the right way, and that was kind of a he started to gain a little bit of admiration for the club. Obviously we signed him on Monday. I think Danny is I wouldn't say he's a prolific goal scorer, but he, like I said before, he can pick a pass, and he is a lively, he seems like a strong midfielder, which is what we're looking for, and that experience as well in there, which will hopefully bring on a couple of the young lads that we have got coming through. So that is Danny Rose. A very good signing, I must say. I'm intrigued to see how he gets on at Grimsby, but we shall see. A couple of days later, we finally got another player, and a guy that Ollie had been chasing for quite a while, apparently. Also, Ollie said in his interview just recently, in his pre-match build-up, he'd been chasing Sean for some time. It's Sean Scannell, formerly of Crystal Palace and of Huddersfield, and of Blackpool as well, which he played for last season. Unfortunately, which he played for, but went on loan to Bradford. There you go. And obviously, he actually played in the 1-1 draw that we had here at Blundell Park with Bradford early last season. He was saying that he could tell he could see what the crowd were like and what the fans were like, and I think that, that looks like it stuck with him, and he's looking forward to getting on the Grimsby bandwagon and enjoying the time here. I'll just go a little bit about Sean. He did have his first team breakthrough at Crystal Palace between 2007 and 2009. He did get the Young Player of the Year in 2008, and then unfortunately did get a bit of a bad injury, but he also won the Championship Apprentice of the Year. Very promising starter. He then, in the 11-12 season, made 37 league appearances for Crystal Palace, 4 goals and 3 assists. His best season for Palace. He was given the freedom to play down the middle or out wide, drifting in and out of dangerous areas in the attacking line. Scannell hit the ground running by scoring the equalising goal in Palace's game against Coventry on August the 16th, 2011, where 2 goals in injury time would turn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 win. And then he moved on from Palace to Huddersfield, and he really did enjoy his time at Huddersfield. And it just went there for an undisclosed fee in January, and he just kept on sort of improving. Then he had a bit of an injury knock. Ollie was trying to explain in his pre-match interview that it's not really been injuries that's let Sean Scannell down, at least in the last move, because his last club was at Blackpool, was his last club. It was basically just fell out of favour. I know a lot of people are concerned about his fitness. Will he be able to hold on? Again, though, you know, he's predominantly a winger, but he does like to. He can play sort of all over the middle, and he did say he could play up top if needed. So, he's 29, so he's well experienced. He's got some good clubs behind him. So hopefully Sean can strengthen us in a few areas. You know, obviously we are really short on players. But like I said, he's played for Palace, Bradford, Huddersfield, Blackpool, and now he signed a 2-year deal. And as did Danny Rose as well. They both signed 2-year deals, which is absolutely fantastic bit of experience for both clubs. Now, I'm just getting my notes all sorted here. And now we have one more signing which we made, and then I'll give my overall opinion. And this has been like 48 hours in the wrangling, I call it. It was supposed to come through on Wednesday. There was always talk, but it's done. It's just not been sealed. It's been agreed and everything else. There was no announcement, and today came along, and it finally got announced during Ollie's pre-match press conference. He did admit that they finally got his man in the end. Danny Preston from Nottingham Forest. And the bit of information we can find about Danny is he's a talented left back, and he's been a mainstay of Nottingham Forest's under-23s for a number of seasons, and has impressed observers with his combative and full-blooded performances. That, I believe, is what has actually caught Ollie's eye. The fact that he's combative and he's full-blooded and he's not afraid to put a tackle in. Preston showed plenty of promise in his first year as a scholar, competing in the higher age group and holding his own, as well as featuring in the under-18s as they reached the FA Youth Cup 4th round. The second half of the 2019-20 season last season, Preston made a loan move to Alfreton. and at the age of 20, he now looks more than capable of making the step up to a higher level. That's all we can find on Danny, but what I can say is that he is coming through one of the best youth systems. Nottingham Forest probably don't get the credit for the youth they have brought up in the past. And obviously he worked in his very early time. He worked with one of our striking legends, Jack Lester, who was a youth coach, the under-18s coach at the time at Nottingham Forest, and worked his way through. He looks like an Ian Holloway type of player, robust. And I think that he's going to give us some energy on that left-hand side of the fence. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see what he does. He's only 20 years old, but I think it's going to be quite interesting as to what he's going to be able to bring and the fire that he's going to be able to bring to the club. But like I said, what I would say personally about the Nottingham Forest Youth Academy is they have actually brought up some real good youth players in the past. Jermaine Genus came actually from the Nottingham Forest Academy, as did Michael Dawson, former player of Hull and Spurs and things like that. So he's, they've got good pedigree and they're very, very high on this young lad. So we'll see exactly how all three of these gel together. Will they be in the cup? Will they not? I think at the minute Ollie's being a little bit apprehensive about what he's going to do in the League Cup. I would say I'd like us to get to the League Cup. I'm not overly fussed about the EFL Cup, I think. But I'm going to be doing a preview very, very soon about the game on Saturday. But what do you think about these three signings? What's your opinion? Do you think they're good signings? Do you think they're, are you unsure? Are you undecided? I do like the Danny Rose signing, and I do like the Preston signing. Everyone now has been making jokes that we do have a Jackson, Green, and Preston. Superb, fantastic. If you don't get that gag, you soon will. Think of estate agents. There we go. What they mean is Ira Jackson, Matt Green, and now Danny Preston. Love it. I love the creativity of the Grimsby supporters. I love it. But what are your opinions on these guys? Are you looking forward to seeing them play? Who do you think out of those three is your favourite? Who do you think would be? Who gives you the most excitement out of the three? For me, I'm gonna go for Danny Preston because he's got this. He's got this excitement around him and how highly thought of at Nottingham Forest that he is, and I'm looking forward to seeing him and also Sean Scannell, because if we can get him back to the levels that he was at Crystal Palace and Huddersfield, we've got a cracking player there. What are your opinions? Do you believe we've made some good signings? Where do you think we still need to strengthen? And how many more do you think we need to make? Let me know in the comments and just tell me who is your best player so far, who's your favourite player that we've signed, and who are you most excited about, and how many more players do you think we need to sign and where? Let me know. I'll be back very, very soon, in fact sometime tomorrow, with a with a little mini preview. It'll only be a mini preview for the Morecambe game and where we could be going with team selection and so on. Also next week, what I'm going to do before the league campaign, I'm going to do a League 2 table prediction. So you'll find out from me where I think everybody in the division may be. And in the coming days, I've got some good videos, good chats to come up with. So let me know, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, let me know your opinions on things. And I will see you guys in the next one, and that will be the start of the big kickoff against Morecambe in the League Cup. That's coming very, very shortly. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care of yourselves.